Hello, welcome to Filter 90211. I'm Tiffany Rothman and I'm here with my amazing co-host, Chris Slone, and our wonderful guest is the great belly dancer and teacher, Anosh.
Hello.
And on my right,
Hussein.
And Caitlin.
Caitlin, yes. Very nice to meet you two. See,
Thank you.
I know Anosh, but I never met you two before. Welcome.
Thank you.
Happy to be here.
Thank you.
Happy Sunday.
Happy
Happy
Sunday.
Sunday.
Happy Sunday. It's beautiful.
Yes, it is. Thanks God.
Sunshine.
Who's your friend?
He's the founder of Papa and Butter.
Oh, okay.
I bring some
Bobby
wonderful
چیه بابا؟
oil
نه بابا.
that I have to share with you. Oh my goodness. It
You
totally.
have it with you?
No, I don't. I'll have to send it to you.
Oh,
Send me
yeah.
your address and I'll send you a
Of
vial.
course, I love the oil.
Is it from like a tomb that was found in the pyramid?
Very
Like
funny.
it's very
Very
refined.
funny, Chris. Very funny.
Like
It's from an Egyptian pharmaceutical
we
company.
lost audio. George, audio down.
And I've been using it for a month. And
I was gonna ask if, well, I would say if you did find it in a tomb in Egypt,
Uh-huh.
there's probably no preservatives in that.
Probably not.
I love that.
Well, welcome to Filter 90211. I'm Tiffany Rothman with my amazing co-host, Chris Slone. And next to my left is the beautiful belly dancer and teacher that I know for years, Anosh. And on my right is,
Hussein.
and next to Hussein is,
Caitlin Esquivel.
oh, I never met you two before. Very nice to meet you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you to
My
invited
pleasure.
us.
Chris,
Hi, Tiffany.
hello.
Happy Sunday.
Thank you. Beautiful weather we have.
It's beautiful.
Thanks God.
It's sunny. It's warm.
Yes, yes. Amazing.
Wonderful.
And we have wonderful guests. In pre-show, we were talking about a lot of different things, so I can't wait to bring a lot of that into in today's show. So, and we have guests that have amazing talents. We have guests that have inventions. We have guests that speak several languages. People that can do things, create things, speak languages, and then you have me.
Okay,
So,
Chris.
I'm excited to have our guests, so let's get into the show.
I'm excited to be here.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're excited to have you,
Yeah, so Anosh,
especially if you do belly dancing.
yeah. Anosh, let's talk about your history in belly dance. Because we didn't meet until you start working with the master teacher, Ahmed Hussein.
Yes, yes.
let's talk
I was
about
kind of
it.
low key here
Yeah.
in Southern California.
Right.
I have I've worked with Warner Media Services, and this is how I got into belly dance. When it was getting stressful at work, I wanted to get back into dance, and so I found a community center class, and I took one class and was hooked immediately, and
I
started.
can imagine.
Yes, the endorphin rush. And so, well, these are like my infant dance stories, and I'll make it pretty brief. But the one class turned into several years of studying dance with different teachers in Southern California. And I was hooked, and I began teaching. I found that I loved teaching as well as performing. But I was more interested in the teaching aspect of it, so I focused more on teaching. I danced in the clubs. I did my time for about, 7 to 10 years. And then as I'm teaching, I started to become bored with my own technique. And someone brought Mr. Ahmed Hussein to San Diego for a workshop. So I told my girls, oh, there's a male Egyptian dance teacher teaching in San Diego. We should go as a girl group and have bonding time. So we went. And of course, it was not an easy class. It's not an easy class. So we were drenched in sweat during the warm-up after 10 minutes.
Yep. That's him, all right.
Yes.
And this was belly dancing?
Yes.
yes.
So belly dancing and sweat. Sounds good to me.
Yes, there is sweat and belly dancing for sure. And so, anyway, that's how I met Mr. Ahmed in 2010. And then we started working together. But the thing that I love about belly dance is, of course, it's something that you can do for yourself. You don't need a partner. And you burn a lot of calories and the endorphins start to flow through your body. So it's feel good all the way around. And it helps your body. It really does. You become more flexible, you gain self-confidence, and for an hour, if that's what the class is, an hour, you disappear into the music, into the movement. And I love seeing that happen for women who come from all different walks and backgrounds in life. So that has kept me going. And my collaborations with Mr. Ahmed in dance training camps, we created a dancer certification, a teacher certification, and then we also organized tours to Egypt and Morocco. And so he's been doing tours to Egypt since 1989, and I'm fortunate enough to have been able to co-host the tours with him since we met. So I love Egypt.
Egypt is one place that I have not yet visited, but I would love to be there.
Me either.
Yes, would love to see Egypt. I want to see the pyramids.
Oh my goodness, it's breathtaking. No matter how many times I go, I never get tired of it. And I always learn something new.
I was there 30 years ago.
Oh, wow.
You should go.
Yes,
So
I
much
guess
has changed and so much has remained the same. And then they're opening up a new museum with the beautiful Ramses statue, and we got to preview it this last month. We came back in March, and so many things. It's just vibrating with culture, history, and
That must be fascinating.
the sights, the smells, the food. Oh my goodness!
Oh boy.
So you mentioned that you were dancing in clubs. What kind of
Yes.
clubs were they?
Restaurants, the patio, the Golden Rose.
Yes, yeah. Because the first time that I performed belly
Caspian.
dance was Mr. Ahmed Hussein, also in the restaurants.
So part
In
of
New
the
York.
show.
So in a restaurant as part of a show. So people are eating dinner,
Yes.
and then there's a show that
Yep.
kind of goes on around the tables.
Yes.
Well,
first you do in the center.
In the center, we prefer to do that.
Well, so how long has belly dancing been in existence?
Oh,
Since the beginning of time, I
thousands
imagine.
of years.
Yes.
It's created by women. It's the feminine dance, like the movement of giving birth.
That's why I can't do it.
Yes,
Try
you
to belly
can.
dance, but I
There.
maybe it's because I can't give birth that I can't do belly dancing either.
Well, I don't know. Mr. Ahmed's pretty good.
That's right. He's phenomenal.
Yeah, yeah.
I think you can, because maybe next time when he's here, we can bring Chris
Okay.
and have him take his very first belly dance
I would
class.
do that. I'll do it on air if I have to.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll do it.
Okay,
Yeah,
wonderful.
I'm up for anything, really. So it's been around for hundreds, thousands of years.
Yes.
Yes.
When do you believe it first appeared at an eating establishment like a restaurant? What's the history of that?
Yes.
Well, going back to your first question about when it became in existence, as I tour through the temples in Egypt, Saqqara, for instance, there is hieroglyphics. There are paintings inside the tombs of dancers, of women dancers. So it goes way back.
So those would have been the first table dances ever. Where somebody eating at a table, right?
I'm
But-
sure
but
they
the
were
certain
dancing for royalty.
Culture, like certain culture. Like I spoke to someone, he from Turkey. And he said everybody belly dances. His grandmother, his mother, like after dinner.
It's a cultural dance, yes.
the
They
thing to
grew
do
up with
after,
it.
after dinner.
I think that when music been invented, so dancing is created as after that.
And you mentioned hieroglyphics, picture writing, right?
Yes.
So in your travels, what type of hieroglyphics have you seen?
Well, I can't read them, but I have seen pictures like propaganda from kings depicting the stories of their war and how they won the war and how many prisoners they've captured and how successful they are. So before social media, there was the hieroglyphics on the temple walls to celebrate the wars, to celebrate women, to celebrate the queens, to celebrate special times of the year when the Nile would rise and bring fertility back to the Nile Delta, back to the area. And then the farmland would flourish.
Amazing. So back then it was hieroglyphics. Now, in the last year we've had the war between Russia and Ukraine, and we can see it on social media.
Yes.
So you go from thousands of years ago where whatever was going on, it was, they were using picture writing, and now we have social media.
Yes.
And it's almost real time.
Yes.
So it's incredible when you think about how things have changed over thousands of years, and how people now document what's going on.
Yes. They wanted to leave their legacy, and they wanted to make sure nobody forgot it. And so they did it on the temple walls, and now we do it live.
So now the art of the dance, it sounds like it's very aerobic,
It is.
but yet holistic and almost like a meditative exercise as well.
Yes.
Because when you're doing the exercise, it's not just the physical part. Tell me more about what's going on in your mind and your inside when you're doing it.
Well, when beginners come to me, they look to me, and so we do a lead and follow type of class where I give instructions, but it depends on the music that I choose, to warm up. That makes me move a certain way, and then I instruct the ladies on how to use their muscles to gain the most benefit out of the movement. You are using your own body strength, so the more effort you put into the push-pull of the movement, the more effect it's going to have on your body, and the faster your heart will beat. If we do traveling exercises, of course, that's a different kind of cardio, because if we do the the traveling steps, then of course your heart rate will rise. But when we're standing still, we can break a sweat just in place, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
All we have to do is just shake one
So
leg.
a lot of it has to do with the type of music you're listening to that drives the movement. So your body becomes an instrument of accompanying the music.
What kind of music is that?
Drum solo could be one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Any
It could
music is
be-
something. The music makes you do it. Dance is the music makes you do it.
Classical, the classics, Kulthum music. You can listen to shabby music, anything that's like hip hop. There's Egyptian hip hop. There is Egyptian meditative music. So there's all sorts of music to listen to.
How about, did you ever dance to Michael Sembello's Maniac from Flashdance?
No.
You should try it.
I will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that movie?
Yes, I
You
did.
did?
Flash dance.
Flashdance.
That's just a fantasy.
There's good music.
Yeah,
And I think
fantasy.
that some of that music could apply to belly dancing too.
I'm
Yes.
sure.
For real.
But Flash
So-
dance was a long time ago. I mean, you
It's an old
remember?
movie. Yeah, I'm old.
40
Been around a long
years
time.
ago.
1983.
Yeah.
So 40 years.
40
Wow,
years ago.
Caitlin knew that.
It's such a good movie. It's a classic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've
You like
definitely
that?
done that dance before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that I'm looking at Caitlin, you kind of look like the character. The main
Especially
character.
when my hair is curly. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
especially
naturally
your hair.
curly.
That's
It just,
And you're
Yeah.
athletic too, because you were a weightlifter.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
CrossFit. I love CrossFit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so we were talking about, aerobic exercise. Now, CrossFit is kind of a combination of anaerobic. So aerobic is more cardio driven. Anaerobic is driven more using, muscle and strength. So it works your body differently. It works your metabolism differently. One works muscle mass strength. The other one works more cardiovascular. So tell me about, because CrossFit's been around for a while now. There's a lot of different theories about it. Some people are in belief of it. Some people may not look at it as safe because there could be injuries. But tell me your experience about CrossFit.
For CrossFit, I feel that if you're not doing the correct form, you can definitely hurt yourself. But I've found the most progress as far as getting leaner and building muscle with CrossFit. Plus, it's really fun to have that group organization that you have, like the camaraderie, people cheering you on. I haven't done a lot of it recently just because of the pandemic and everything, and then it's just been kind of choppy moving to LA right before the pandemic, but definitely want to get back into it. I still weight lift and I still practice at the gym. But
So what was it like moving to LA right before the pandemic, and then it shuts down and LA becomes the COVID capital of the world? How was that?
oh, that was amazing. I loved it.
Did you think, wow,
It was.
I made such a great move?
I was like, I didn't expect it to last as long as it did, and really it's still going on, but December 2019 is when I moved, and I got a little bit of traction because I moved here to be an actress, and I started booking short films, and then everything shut down. So definitely took a toll on my mental health, but I used fitness to kind of keep myself sane through the shutdown.
Good for you. Good for you.
How did you do it during the shutdown? Tell me about what your exercise routine was based on what access you had to really anything at that point.
At that point, I made my own home gym, and it was really difficult because everything was sold out in Southern California. So I had to drive to Santa Clarita and stand outside Big Five before they open.
That's so funny. I live in Santa Clarita. I know where that Big Five is.
And then I drove down to somewhere in Orange County. There was like a warehouse, and I was able to get some weights there. And then I did a lot of body exercises. And then once we were allowed to kind of go to the parks opened back up. I was doing a lot of hiking and walking and whatnot, walking the
Good for you.
trails.
And what about now? Where do you train now?
I go to Hollywood Boxing Gym. I really like it. It's a smaller gym. It's a little bit older, but there's a lot less people.
You box.
No.
Oh.
Just work out. They have a full gym there, so.
And the name of it, I would say, then it's in Hollywood.
It is. It's on La Brea.
See, I could pick
You can
things
find
up
me
real
there.
That's
fast.
right. Brilliant, Chris.
Do you see other entertainers there, actresses?
No, I have not. I don't. There's usually like 5 people in the gym when I'm there, so I've been really lucky to find a gym like that because the LA
Amazing.
Fitness up the street is completely packed. You're usually waiting in
That's
line for.
you're talking about the LA Fitness right near the Chinese Theater, right?
Yes.
That gets packed. I've been there.
And what time you usually go? How come it's only 5 people when you're there? That's
Usually
amazing.
11 a.m.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
I try not to go around rush time, which is 5.
So if you
around
want to
5
see
p.m.
Caitlin working out,
Come at 11 a.m.
11 a.m. at the
Hollywood Boxing Gym.
Hollywood Boxing
I'll
Gym.
be there.
And do
there.
you teach people how to work out too? You give them advice?
No, I try not to do that. But I did get my my certification for personal training during the pandemic. I didn't do anything with it, but I had a lot of time on my hands, so.
And you do improv.
And I do improv. I do. Yes, I've gone to Groundlings, UCB. I did a little bit of comedy sports up in the Bay Area.
Comedy sports?
Comedy sports, yeah.
What's a comedy sport? Tell me.
It's like an improv troupe, very similar to Groundlings, yeah.
Okay. But what's the word sports have to do with it?
they get together and they do. I only did the basic one, so I never got to actually perform in that one, but it's a lot of stage. There is sports like involved.
Like what kind?
Improv sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Improv sport.
I don't know if I've ever heard the term improv sport.
Yes, me either.
So that's why I'm trying to learn
Right, I
about
mean,
it.
I'd say it's very similar to some of the groundling shows that I've seen. Yeah, like it's not necessarily related specifically to sports.
See, I learn something every day. Yeah. Do you like improv?
I do. I love improv.
don't know, what exactly you do?
It's comedy based, usually.
Like sketch comedy?
Yeah, like sketch comedy. I know a lot of shows they'll start off with like a word from the audience and then go off of that, and it'll just build off of that. They'll just come up with stuff offhand.
Now, in addition to improv, you also act,
I do.
right? So
Yeah.
that's scripted,
It is.
right? What do you prefer?
Definitely scripted. I think improv's good for helping with commercials.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thinking on your feet. They're like, okay, just do whatever you want.
Oh, okay.
Or even with scripted, every once in a while you'll get somebody who's like, okay, just throw it away, do whatever you want. But I think scripted's more. I enjoy that more for sure.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So when you work out, you do improv sport, you get sore sometimes?
So are you talking CrossFit? No.
CrossFit or
Yeah.
oh, for CrossFit, definitely.
Oh.
Definitely get sore.
Okay.
What's your favorite CrossFit exercise? And are you running down Hollywood Boulevard sometimes with some weights?
Not with weights, but I do run down Hollywood Boulevard sometimes.
Is somebody
Probably.
chasing you when you're running?
No, hopefully not. Hopefully not. Kipping is probably one of my favorites.
What's kipping?
Though I'm not great at it. It's kind of like a pull up. So you pull up, but it's like a butterfly with the bar. And I haven't mastered it completely, but it's
Okay, so the
It's
bar
fun.
stick like this, right? Like
yeah.
a bar, and then you grab on it, you
And you
pull
almost-
it up.
Yeah, you pull it up and you almost are like a butterfly to the bar.
And it's,
I've
you
seen
must
that.
also
Kind of
get
like-
sore. I mean,
I've seen
Oh,
that.
definitely triceps
I
for
see.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just noticed your shirt. It's purple. And I love purple too. So during a pre-show, I was talking about Tiffany's dress. And you have
Lavender.
Lavender. To me, it's kind of pinkish, but it's lavender. And then you have maybe some fuchsia. And then you have purple underneath. I like
Yep.
that.
Yep.
And Caitlin has purple and black. I think the colors are great. I love those colors. And I like your colors too.
Navy blue and beige.
Yeah, I love navy blue. I do. And Hussein, I like gray. I'm kind of wearing gray myself.
No, he looks the most comfortable
He does.
in that top.
You got
Fits.
the memo.
He does.
Yeah.
So Hussein, do you do CrossFit?
No, I don't.
CrossFit.
I walk a lot and sometimes jog, but not CrossFit.
So Hussein is an artist and an inventor as well.
Yes.
So tell me about your invention.
Yes, it called prevention decay. Means babies have like 43% of the babies born in US, they have cavities.
43%
43%.
of infants born have cavities.
Babies through 6 years old, they have cavities in US
Why is that number so high?
because they don't taking care of the teeth. They don't know about it. They're not educated. When baby drink milk during nighttime or juice, that milk after 20 minutes create to become a bacteria, and those bacteria around the baby teeth become infected
Okay, the milk. What kind of milk you talking about? The mother's milk or
Doesn't
the regular
matter.
milk?
Doesn't matter either way.
I see.
Because there's sugar. There's
The
a certain amount
sugar,
of
the material is in it. After 20 minutes, it's become bacteria, and that bacteria infected teeth. After a while, that teeth become, you have to take it out or do something about it.
Dear. Mm-hmm.
So my invention is, I noticed that, so I invented the bottle that you put some water in it, and when baby drink that milk, when that milk finish in that bottle, there is a water, is a device that you put water in it, automatically release it and wash the baby teeth.
Oh, that is.
Yeah,
That's wonderful.
I have them here.
I want to see it.
Yes.
That's
Can we see it? Yes.
Yeah, maybe George can get it for you.
Yeah, hold.
So see, I know nothing about it. When I had our daughter, how you nurse them at night, and then that's it. They go to sleep, and when they grow teeth, you just brush them before bedtime and in the morning. You have no idea.
Well, and it makes sense because any kind of sugar in your mouth,
Yeah,
after a while, that's what's going to create an acid, and that acid then starts to break down the enamel.
Okay, so this is it.
So what Hussein is saying is that infants are being fed milk often throughout the day, but their mouth isn't being rinsed out enough,
Mm-hmm.
and that will create an acidic reaction on their teeth, which creates
Right.
cavities.
This create cavity
Yeah, you wouldn't think the mother's milk would do that.
because they are not educated and they don't know about that. They do know that the milk is infected the baby teeth, but they don't know how to take care of it. So
No, you wouldn't think mother's milk. You would think other milk, but not the
No.
mother milk. If you nurse the baby, you wouldn't think this happened.
So show us. Let's see how it
Yeah.
works.
this is the box, and it says an automatic insert to help keep your baby teeth from cavities. Made in USA and BPA free.
So you put water in that.
Okay, I will show you.
That's great because, in order for the kids to be, or the babies to be relaxed, moms usually will give them the bottle at bedtime. So,
Yeah, you put water here, and you put the cover, and you put it in the bottle of your choice. If you have a tall
Big bottle. Yeah.
big bottle, so you have the extension.
Mm-hmm.
You can use tall bottle.
Very versatile.
Show a little up to the camera. More up.
Move up.
I have a liquid to demonstrate. Do you think you should do that?
You want to do liquid? Yes.
Yeah. You want me to do it?
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
And what Caitlin said makes sense. So many times you're gonna give an infant a bottle before bed.
Yeah.
Then what
Yep.
happens is all night that settles on their teeth or their
Yeah.
gums or what have you, creating that acid.
Now I look back. I don't think I do that. I nurse for a long time.
Oops.
And then the bottle, I think I put the bottle in the morning. I would put the bottle by the bed when I stop nursing. So that like in the morning, so that helps. So now Caitlin can know about it. So when she has kids, you have kids, right?
Yes, I have 3.
You don't know anything about this, right?
No.
Can you zoom out a little bit? On the top. At the top, just zoom. You see, look at the screen here. Zoom the other way around. Yeah, good.
Could I use a little bit of the one?
Is that good, George?
Yeah, just lower a little bit. Don't. Yeah, like that. Yeah, yeah. Let's see what it does. No.
Do I sound like I'm echoing?
You guys can continue talking.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
Do I sound like
So-
do I echo?
No, what about me? I think I'm echo.
Oh, for sure.
George, I'm echo.
Okay, that's it. It's fixed.
It's fixed.
You guys keep
Fix,
talking.
yeah.
Okay, now,
I fix the sound. Don't worry
Chris,
about
can you
that.
hear me?
I can
No.
hear you.
George, are you
What about
ready?
you,
He's going to
Caitlin?
demonstrate.
Okay, demonstrate.
See, the liquid on the insert doesn't mix with water. Okay, whatever you do. But when I take the water out, see,
I have to pee now.
I'm glad you said that first.
That's pretty fascinating.
So it would mix.
it doesn't mix.
It doesn't mix with the milk.
It doesn't mix. You saw this
So
is
when all the milk pours out, then the liquid, the water
It'll flush.
will flush.
Flush,
yes.
flush in the baby's mouth and clear out the
Yes.
tea.
So Hussein, what was your motivation behind this?
Well, my daughter, when she born, and I had that knowledge that milk create cavity for baby. So I try to make one bottle of milk and one separate water, bottle of water.
So then you would feed them.
When she was finishing the milk with one bottle, so I gave her the other bottle
And she would
with
take
water.
it. And she would take
So
it.
since I was inventing different things, my mind was in the invention. So I tried to make something that will be together rather just one and one. So it takes me many years until I invented that, and hopefully that we can get it to the market and kids can be healthy
Yes.
around the world.
So what was your research and development like? I mean, when you invent something, you go through several versions, a lot of failure at first. So how many different revisions did you have before you had your final patented product?
It took me over 20 years. I did a lot of work on it, and I did a lot of different versions. I kind of disappointed, but since I was ambitious, so I try until I got to the point that finally I got it right.
20 years.
Over 20 years, yes.
I would probably, after about like a day or two, get frustrated, I think.
No,
Definitely.
I have a patient. I have as an artist, you have to be patient to be an artist.
Yeah, I
That's-
don't think I'd be a good artist either because I get impatient. Like if I'm trying to do something, I'll get frustrated if I can't open up a bottle of something, and it comes with, you buy like vitamins or something and it has the plastic wrap that you can't get off.
Then you get
You gotta
yeah.
use like a knife to get it off.
I hate
Scissors.
Yeah,
Scissors.
scissors. And then you can't even get the top off. And then there's like cotton packed in there and everything. I get frustrated just doing that. And sometimes I just give up on it.
no, don't give up.
No, he wants to clean his daughter's tea. He wants to make sure that
Well, I
she
know,
has
and
good
I
tea.
understand the motivation of it. It's just like, again, you have to have a lot of patience. I mean, 20 years to develop something is a long time.
That's dedication.
It
You know,
is.
Yes.
it cost me around $200,000
Wow.
to get to this point.
So then you need to hold that up again so we can sell that.
Yes,
You need to
and
sell more of those.
where can
Yes.
we find it?
You can find it. I have a website which is orderpredecay
like that.
at
Oh, that's great.
gmail.com.
Can you say it again so people can hear it?
Pre-decay, like
PDK.
like
Can you
prevention
hold the
decay.
box up again?
Pre-VK.
And
Pre-decay.
let's get a good shot of that,
Pre-DK,
George.
yeah.
Are
There
you
it is.
selling this on
Maybe-
Amazon yet?
Let's see some 3D action. Go like this. Go like
Yeah,
no,
pre-decay.
like towards this
3D.
camera here. Like
Huh.
3D. Like push it. There you go. Then bring it
Oh,
back.
yeah.
Then push it out again.
I love
there you
that.
go. 3D.
Pre-DK.
It's coming at you in
Or
3D.
Teaching you some Instagram tricks right now.
yes, it's called predecay.com, or if you want to order it, order predecay at gmail.com.
Predecay.com.
Or
Is the
pre-DK at
website.
is the
gmail.com.
website. Say that again, Tiffany?
Yeah, pre-DK at gmail.com.
Is his email?
No, if you want to order it,
Uh-huh.
order predecay at gmail.com, but the website is predecay.com.
Okay, need a
Or
pre-DK.com.
babyteethcleaning.com. Is it?
Okay.
I may try that.
Pre-DK for yourself?
Yeah.
Just go bottle fed. Just be.
Yeah. I like.
Just go
Well,
to
I was going
liquid.
to say.
Do you have a baby?
What's that?
you
No,
have
no,
it?
he
I
doesn't
don't,
have kids.
but I still like milk. Yeah.
So now
I believe
it's-
I was breastfed as a child.
Yeah,
Because I was born
probably.
in the 60s.
Yeah.
And,
The good thing about it is fits most of the bottle in the market. It fits most of the bottle.
So it's
so,
easily.
so it'll work with most of the bottles on the market
Most,
today.
yes,
So you obviously needed to test to make sure that it would work with all different versions.
yes,
How many versions of bottles are there out there?
a lot.
I mean, I thought there was just one bottle.
No, a
No,
lot.
no, the different companies make different
Wow.
You
type
see,
of bottles.
this is wide, and this is smaller neck.
Why are they different though? See, I don't know anything about bottles because I don't have children. So
Well, I nursed my daughter for 16 months, so I only use one kind of bottle
And
afterward.
the nipples. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
The
Definitely the nipples.
they're like they come in different shapes,
Yeah.
different
And
sizes,
depend how old the
different
baby is.
designs.
The good
a
things
joke in there
about the
somewhere.
advantage of that,
I was gonna say, why is there so many different size nipples? Is it because
baby.
women have different?
No, because the
The
baby, you know,
The way the interior of the mouth is structured.
because you cannot have a big hole on the nipple because the baby would choke when it's an infant. So
There'd
you
be
put
too
like-
much coming out.
Right, so it'd be like one needle on top. of the
There
nipple.
are there are infants that are born that have difficulty latching, and so then there's nipples that are invented or created just for that kind of situation.
yes.
I
I
learned
didn't
another thing today. It's
Difficulty
amazing.
latching.
I
yes.
didn't I didn't get the bottle because the advantage of this, when mother buy that, so they can fit their own bottle. So
Perfect.
they don't need my bottle because if I have my own bottle, so I have only one nipple. Maybe the infant doesn't like that, and he wants the different kind of nipple.
Yes,
So I have only this without the bottle.
we went through that with my first granddaughter, and I ordered everything on Amazon, and we waited and waited for the Amazon driver to get there every day, and she would not take a pacifier. So yes,
She won't take a pacifier.
she did not want to take a
How
pacifier.
old was she when this happened?
Newborn. I mean,
Oh,
newborn. She just would.
You know what's really
refuse.
funny? My daughter, I never gave it to her. When she like 19 months old, after I stopped nursing, she asked for the pacifier. She grabbed it.
I never discriminated on any nipple.
It's all good.
So
All
what,
nipples are
Shane,
created equal.
Shane, how are sales going of pre-decay?
I don't sell it. I didn't sell them yet.
Okay.
So this is kind of
So is this the first time the world is being introduced
that's right.
to
Yes,
pre-decay?
yes.
Wow, I'm honored that
Yeah.
on our show
Yes.
you're
Yeah,
wonderful.
I'm pleased to be here.
introducing this product, and
Yes.
I'm one of the first to see it.
Yeah, hopefully it helps babies around the world that be without the cavities.
Because think about it, getting tooth decay at such a young age will set up possibly a lifetime of major dental issues.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah,
And dental issues can get so serious that eventually could be technically life-threatening.
And if
That's
you
true.
have like 2-3 cavities for the baby, she has to go to anesthesia.
Oh,
Right.
Which is dangerous for a child.
Dangerous, and it costs a lot of money. So better from the beginning to prevent all these problems.
right. Prevent the gum. When I was pregnant, I heard that gum damage can prevent women from conceiving.
Really?
Yes. I mean, I was pregnant at the time, but I learned about it. I say, oh, gee.
Infertility, diabetes. I just went to the dentist recently and they
Hernia.
have a whole
Yeah. Heart
thing on-
issues.
I read some article as well, but I'm not sure that autistic people, kids, maybe because of that cavity that they have or the infection teeth problem that may have. So this could be another reason for the autistic children.
And let's face it, parents are working, parents are tired, and they perhaps don't take the extra step to take care of the dental cleaning.
They don't know. They don't know.
But otherwise, usually when you give the baby bottle, I mean, if they take the bottle to sleep, when they fell asleep, I don't think the parents would wake them up and clean their teeth.
No, you're just happy they fell asleep.
Right, but they could wake up and start crying, and that's another 2 hours.
And how could you clean it? You cannot clean them with the gas.
Yeah.
Well, I think this should be included in every baby shower gift.
Yes.
Yes.
I agree. You have any little grandbaby?
I
Coming
do.
out, like 1 month old?
Oh no, not yet. But I'm hopeful I'll have at least one or two more.
Could I leave a phone number in case somebody wants to?
Precay.
Yes.
310-560-4444.
Say it again.
310-560-4444.
Get your pre-decay now.
Order predk@gmail.com.
Right, and save them for
And
the
have
babies
cavity-free children.
or grandbabies.
Yes.
Wonderful.
So when you give them treats, they could still have healthy teeth.
Healthy teeth.
That's
Wonderful.
wonderful. That's very loving.
So you know what's interesting? This brings up something else. So we're talking about kind of natal hygiene. So I've never been a father, so at least not that I know of.
Oh no,
And
that's a
Nothing on
whole
the
nother
books.
story.
Nothing on the
That's
books.
another
Nothing
story.
on the books.
nothing on the books. I like that. Nothing on the books. But now, apparently, with infants, you have to rotate them. You can't leave them laying on their head too long because they'll get soft. They have their skull is just forming, so the skull of an infant is very soft. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes, and I do have crooked heads. Maybe that's the reason.
And I was going to bring that up. What about your head? My head. I have a very flat spot on my head.
But you know what? Sometimes the baby, they're gonna do whatever they want.
Yes.
Like our daughter, we put her this way, she would turn the other way. When she was an infant, just born.
She was stubborn.
Yes.
So was I. I was very
Okay.
stubborn. And maybe that's why I stayed in the one spot. So now I have like a big flat spot on my head. I don't think it's affected me at all mentally. But
Well,
Still up for discussion.
right. That's right. Up for debate.
Definitely.
but there's just so many things to worry about with infants.
yeah.
It scares me.
Yes.
Maybe that's why I never had children. It's just there's worrying about tooth decay and flat spots on their head and
When they
diapers.
sleep,
So easy to
But
just
these are
drop them. They like squirm.
Yeah, like what if you drop
No, you
them
won't.
and
You
they
be very
squirm?
careful. They're tiny, so you be.
I mean, I
Very
love
careful.
babies. If somebody had a baby, I'd love to
Yeah.
coddle them.
you
But
should have your
but
own
having
baby.
your own is different. Because then
No,
you're,
no,
res-
he- no,
you
he
know, you're very
shouldn't.
responsible, and you know have it's a lot of work. You know, a lot of and then like I may get paranoid. A lot of things can go wrong.
But you enjoy it a lot.
Yes.
Don't worry, it is pleasure.
I think it's too
The
late, though,
rewards
for me.
are
Yes,
It's
but
never too late.
outweigh.
no, but when an older man have baby, the child can be, autistic. Or,
Oh, really?
Yeah, older man. So don't think that this.
So you're calling me an old man? now?
Oh,
Okay, thanks, Tiffany.
The truth comes out.
I said older. I didn't say old.
Older. So we were talking about belly dancing.
Yes.
We were talking about CrossFit. We're talking about infant tooth decay. Okay. I think what's interesting about what we've talked about today is our own individual passions for things, right?
Yes.
And I think the importance of our own passions, we need to self-identify what they are, because I think without the passions in our lives, I think one, it's hard to be happy. It's difficult to grow. And the importance of identifying what our passions, what our true passions are, and then having the ability and the courage to go towards those passions. What are some other passions that we haven't talked about from our panel today? So we'll start with
Anosh?
belly dancing. Anosh, belly dancing. What else?
I really love co-hosting the tours to Egypt. I
So
think
you
they
actually
go.
do the co-host.
Yes.
A tour guide.
Do you get paid to do it?
Yes.
Well, yeah, I would love that too.
Well, no, that's not the motivation, though. The motivation is to take people to Egypt and have them discover the beauty that Egypt has. There's just so
Will you
much to
take me to
discover.
Egypt?
Of course.
Are you going to charge me?
Of course.
Well, who's going to pay for the hotel and the food?
Well, I'm just thinking now that I know her, she can hook me up.
I can hook you up for sure.
Is she going to pay for your hotel and the food?
She knows people.
The beauty, the real beauty of this is how it ties into belly dance. Of course, not just belly dancers go to these tours. Everybody is welcome to come to the tours. But what is beautiful about it is that when my students say, well, I want to see Egypt, and it gives them an opportunity to like expand their knowledge of the dance, because they're actually stepping into land, into the country where it actually, where it originated from. And so they become richer, and it's exciting because every time I go to the tour, I see Egypt through their eyes, be it from the pyramids, the tombs, Saqqara, the cruise on the Nile, the places we stay in Luxor, and we visit the Valley of the Kings and the Queens. We visit Dendera Temple, Seti's tomb. All of these places are just fascinating. And I think it personally enriches everyone, and especially the dancers. I see how it translates. Everybody moves a little differently when we come home.
What's interesting is I did a paper in college on Egypt, on the pyramids. What's your favorite pyramid?
Mine would have to be Nefertiti's tomb.
And why is that your favorite?
It's just so beautiful. It's so beautiful. They've done a magnificent job at restoring it, and the colors are so vivid. It's like you're there. You are like transported in time. I love that tomb.
What's your theory on how the pyramids were built?
Not aliens.
I didn't think so. Not aliens.
The Egyptians, of course. The Egyptians.
So it wasn't like
their archaeological
a big
expertise.
ship came from outer space and helped
no,
them out?
No.
No. So when I was doing my paper in college and I did a lot of research, so you mentioned the Nile River earlier, that the Nile River was really what created the fertility of that area.
Yes.
And no different than other countries and societies that use water for food and agriculture. And so the research I did was that they used the Nile River to bring these large stones from other areas of that country or that region down the Nile, and then the Nile not too far from where the pyramids are, then they transported them onto ground.
Yes, and there's pictures on papyruses depicting how close the River Nile was to the pyramids.
Oh,
Yeah,
It's beautiful.
I still think it's incredible. So they were using, flotation devices, probably wood or bamboo or what have you, and they would take these huge stones and transport them onto the water, then onto land, and then really, literally, with a lot of people, by hand, slowly erect these monuments. The other part of the paper that I did is some people had a theory that they used slaves to build the pyramids. Other writings that I researched was that they weren't really slaves. They were workers.
Yes.
Okay, they were workers that had their own living quarters.
Yes.
They were fed, much like any corporation that may have a campus somewhere where people work and live on the same
Yes.
land. And really, they weren't slaves. It kept them vibrant.
Yes. Yes.
So,
I agree.
So then, did I do good on my paper?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I think I may have gotten a B plus. I don't know if I got an A on that paper, but I love the pyramids.
Yes.
And
the Egyptians were very dedicated, to whoever the king was at the time. And so they gladly worked, and they were fed, housed, and their families lived with them. So they would leave the campus, so to speak, like in Diyar al-Bahri. They've discovered homes, houses, the remnants of houses of where all the workers lived, and they walked. And this is in Luxor, Valley of the Kings, and they would walk to wherever the digging site was every day.
what are your thoughts about Khufu?
That they are going to close it and restore it this
Really?
summer.
I
Yes,
did not
in
know
June.
that.
In June.
It's in dire need of restoration.
No, they do that occasionally. The Ministry of Antiquities has many projects going on, and so it was time for Khufu to get a renovation.
And how long will that renovation take?
Depending on what kind of work that needs to be done, it's never something that they announce what we're going to, it's not like Disneyland, well, we're going to close this right from this time to this time. The Ministry of Antiquities works by their own timeline, and we're not always privy, but it's going to close, I think, in June or July, and then hopefully it will open within the next year. But just like the Grand Egyptian Museum, the GEM was supposed to have opened, I think it was supposed to have opened maybe 4 years ago, but then the pandemic hit, and so they continue to work. Everything has been transported to the Grand Egyptian Museum. However, they have not scheduled the grand opening of it yet until they can organize a celebration worthy of its grand opening.
Well, when I go, I want to see Khufu, so we'll have to plan it after the restoration.
I'll make note of that.
Yes.
We climbed, this last time that I went, we climbed the Bent Pyramid, and that was pretty amazing. That was pretty physically exhausting, but it was worth it. It was very worth it to climb inside the pyramids.
Now, Khufu is the tallest
Yes.
pyramid. Yeah, that was in my paper too, by the way.
That's why you got B
Sick that I didn't
plus.
get an A on that one.
That's why you got a B plus. Why? Why did you get a B plus?
I don't know. I
think you should write to the
It
teacher.
was the teacher.
You
I think
know,
the teacher
demand
was a
a
little
redo.
bit difficult. And
Yeah, demand redo, right?
Demand a
She
regrade.
was-
Redo
she
the
was
paper.
tough. She's tough.
Right, but you can say, can I
But
redo
you have
the
pretty
paper?
you have pretty well good
I
command.
should have
of
got
it.
an A plus because I put a lot of time and effort.
Yes.
Right, so you can ask her that, I need an A plus, can I redo the paper? This is what I done. If it's
See,
not
I should have
good
had
enough-
you there as my counsel there. I needed that.
Now they did open the National Egyptian Museum of Civilization during pandemic. They also opened up the Sphinx Road.
At first, I thought you said syphilis.
Civilization.
Civilization.
Sif. Did I? Civ.
I thought you were saying
Civilization.
syphilis. I'm like, oh, gee, they're
Oh,
going to have something about
Chris
it.
and his mind.
No, not.
Talk about personal growth.
George, I don't think I can
So
do
then,
that.
they opened that and they
George.
introduced it and they did a beautiful ceremony with that, and everyone every one of the ceremonies was very beautiful. Very beautiful.
Now, speaking of the Sphinx, so I was in Las Vegas recently, as Tiffany said.
Yes,
I was
he
not
was.
gambling, but I was there.
You know, when you go to Vegas, it's kind of
Overwhelming.
for sure.
So the Sphinx in Vegas is actually larger than the actual Sphinx. I don't know if anybody knew that. So the Sphinx in Giza is actually smaller than the Sphinx in Las Vegas. Of course, Vegas has always got to be bigger and better than everything, right? But did you know that?
No, I did not know that. And
Yes.
I would say I haven't been to Vegas and I haven't seen I mean, I've been to Vegas, but I haven't seen the Sphinx and I haven't like compared it to the one in Giza. But when you stand and you see the Sphinx in Giza, it's just overwhelmingly awesome.
I have a deal for you. I will give you a tour of the Sphinx in Las Vegas
Oh no.
in return
Oh no.
for a tour that you'll give me of the Sphinx in Egypt.
Asian.
It's a trade-off. I think it's fair.
I think so too.
You think so? I don't like Vegas. If I'm going to go to the desert, I'm going to go to the Sahara.
So Caitlin, what were you doing in Vegas when you were at the Luxor? I know it's kind of could be a stupid question, but people go to Vegas for many different reasons. What did you do in Vegas?
It's kind of depressing.
Do we want to hear?
No. Depressing? Did you say
Share a story.
depressing?
It's kind of depressing. My dad he retired in Vegas and he was dying, so I was visiting him. So I stayed at that hotel.
Oh.
So maybe that's why it has I'm like, it's like.
But you got to be with your dad.
I did, yeah. I got to spend some time with him and be there before, it was cancer, so it took him pretty quick. He didn't suffer a lot, which was good.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So
As long as he doesn't suffer, at least he go in peace.
Mm-hmm.
and as an actress, how do you use, pain in your life or emotions to create your characters?
After my dad died, it was a lot easier to cry. So it's actually helped me in my acting be more open, more vulnerable. And before, I've always been, even my dad, we're very strong people, I never cried. And even till the day he died, he was like, it is what it is. And he didn't want us crying over him. But I got in therapy after that because with the whole pandemic, he died at Christmas Eve, which for Mexican families, we celebrate on Christmas Eve. So that was really hard for me.
What year was that?
2021, December 24th, 2021.
He passed on the 24th?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I think that it's helped me grow as a person. Of course, it's traumatic, but grow as a person, as an actor. I think I'm a better actor because of it. You just change. You're a different person after that. You're never really the same, it feels like.
But now you feel you could expose your emotions better.
Definitely. I feel okay being vulnerable, where before it was always like I had to put on a face, and now I've learned that self-care is something that I need to focus on. I make sure to make myself a priority, my mental health, and take time to just relax and do face masks, hand masks.
What's a hand mask?
It's kind of like a glove with lotion in it. It's got a bunch of moisturizers in it. I get mine from Korea.
Why
10 out of
Korea?
10 recommend. Because they don't put dimethicone or any of the silicones or any of the other crap that a lot of skincare uses, preservatives and whatnot.
Maybe I could use that. My skin gets
It's
cracked.
organic.
Gets cracked a lot.
It's organic.
It's organic. I don't know if it's
So
organic.
you do face, hand.
Hand masks.
Do you do feet?
I do. I like the glycolic acid.
You do that on the
Feet
bottom of your
masks.
feet?
And then it makes them peel. And then when it peels, it's super soft afterwards.
What do you think about the magic egg? Do you ever remember the magic egg?
I used to use that.
Where like you use it on the
Yeah.
bottom of your feet and
It's a
then
grater.
it's like a cheese grater. And it takes off all the dry skin on the bottom of your feet, and then like you open up the egg and it's all there.
Oh,
And it kind of looked kind of gross.
Yeah, I love
And I always
that.
thought, like, what if you put that on like your spaghetti or something, like as a joke with
Boy.
somebody? That
No,
would
no,
probably
no.
taste horrible.
I stole the grater once when I was a kid to use it on my feet.
You did?
Yeah, my mom was like, "Where's the grater at?"
And then one night
never-
eating dinner, everybody's like, why does this taste like Caitlin's feet?
She never got it back.
So what else do you do? Like your own self spa.
I love baths. Baths are
So
really
she's
great.
going to be on Bathing with Slone
Yep.
when I get my tub.
Yep.
Epsom salt baths are really great, especially for sore muscles. Korean day spas,
oh, I love those.
so great.
I do that with my daughter.
You have to go fully nude, but
Do they
Yeah,
give
it's
you
worth
a
it.
Where's
they
the
shower
sound?
you?
Where is this?
There's a female section and a male section.
Yeah, it's
so
not
sorry.
co-ed.
It's not
Sorry,
covered.
Chris, it's not
Sorry.
co-ed. Sorry.
Hey, I'm married, so I'm just asking.
yeah, Koreatown's great. They do have co-ed areas though that you can go
Yes.
in. They make you wear like some shorts and a large. I love We Spa. We Spa's a good one.
So,
have
so since the passing of your father, you've really then realized about quality of life
Definitely.
and how important it is to take care of yourself.
And what's important to me, family, my career, taking care of my body, taking care of not just physical exercise, but what I put in my body, what I consume on TV, is music as well, is really
What you consume
Very-
on TV. Mm-hmm. So you mean when you're in front of the camera, what you're consuming,
or no, when I'm watching TV at nighttime.
your mental consumption, like okay. I thought you meant eating.
Eating
So
too.
you're careful about what you
Vegetables.
introduce to yourself as far as what you're watching or listening to.
I find that when I'm listening to depressing music, obviously I'm more depressed. So I try to listen to more happy, upbeat, consume funny shows, make sure I'm balancing that out.
But sometimes you do need to go into dark places depending on the character you're playing.
That's true. That's
And
true.
not everybody wants to
It's
go to those
really-
dark places.
Really easy for me to go dark really fast.
Is it really?
Yes. Very moody, very, you
Yeah.
know.
So when you were doing improv, you were doing a lot of sketch comedy, which you have to be on the polar opposite. You have to be, kind of funny. To kind of be in that mood
Which is-
versus a dark place.
It's really difficult, especially the last improv class that I took was really hard for me because I was struggling with being, I don't know, funny, not funny, but just not, I guess, not caring. You kind of have to let go and just let it be. And I was having trouble with that. But it was right after my dad died that I took it. So I was just feeling really insecure and really, but I've done a lot of work on myself since then.
Actors are insecure at times. I know.
I guess so.
am.
We have to be very vulnerable.
We
all the
do.
time.
I mean, you have to expose what's going on the inside.
All
and
kind of feelings.
It's not easy, And I think you talked about how, depending on your upbringing, that you may need to be strong and not show people your weaknesses and your emotions. And, I kind of grew up that way as well, where my father's kind of old-fashioned Sicilian. You don't, other than yelling, you don't let people know really what's going on. You have to kind of be strong and not show people you're human. So as I got older, and as a teenager, when I knew I wanted to be a performer, I thought, well, how am I going to do this? Because I was afraid to expose what I was, and it was because I was brought up where you don't do that, So then you have to learn how to open up inside and allow people to see that. You become very vulnerable. Mm-hmm. How often do you think of your dad?
Every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
I lost my mother in 2017. I lost my dad during the pandemic, 2020, a few days before Christmas. And I think about my parents more now than ever. So, but the good news is that they're always with us, right?
Yes,
Yes.
And sometimes you actually learn more when they're gone
I think
about
so.
them.
That's true.
You start thinking about what they told you.
You think you learn more about them, you learn more about yourself.
Yeah, you do.
What's effective, what's not effective, what you learned that was maybe not the best, and the stuff that you did that you can take away from that and learn from and grow.
I think we grow spiritually that way. And
Yeah, sometimes you can grow quite well from it.
Yes.
speaking of spiritually, so just wanted to.
Chris, let's give one more shout out to the Precay,
Yes, absolutely. So
and then so can we have a second guest?
okay, so why don't we hold the box up again, Hussein? So pre-decay again,
All the way up.
very impressive. So let's see if we can get a good shot of it here.
Look at that.
Okay, so for everybody out there, if you have infants, now's the time to fight the war on tooth decay. Yes, even if they don't have teeth, they still have gums, and without
Yes.
strong, healthy gums, you cannot have healthy teeth. 20 years, $200,000 of investment, very impressive. And again, where can somebody purchase this? How would they get in touch with you?
Order predk@gmail.com.
Say that again.
Order predk@gmail.com. Okay, can call 560-4444.
And what is the retail price?
I think is $14.95, like $15.
I think that's a nominal investment for the
Exactly.
health of your infant.
Yeah, this is the one.
It should be in every baby shower gift.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I agree. Every
should-
baby shower gift going forward.
You should go on Shark Tank.
There you go.
Shark Tank.
I
Yes.
agree.
The next Shark
Go
Tank.
for it.
Shark Tank wants
Shout out.
sales before you go there.
So
He's
let's-
checked it out. He's
That's
checked
true.
it out.
Yeah.
What is the
Sharks-
what is the zip area code of your phone number? Is it 310?
310, yes.
Can you repeat it?
310-560-4444.
Did you try to sell it in Amazon?
I need more marketing before I go doing anything else.
Maybe children's hospital, pediatrician's office.
Yeah, I have
PTA
probably.
groups.
I would definitely think that dental offices should be reselling that. Absolutely. So you could set up a wholesale plan with
The
dentists.
hospitals for sure. The
Well,
nursery.
my goal is to sell 1,000 pieces like every day almost, not one or two.
Right.
What
Absolutely.
about
I agree. Yeah.
Children's Hospital in LA or in Orange County? Children's Hospital.
I didn't go through this.
And each household, each baby deserves two. You know, could have two
I
bottles.
think they would get behind it.
I think you go back to Shark Tank and tell them.
I'm thinking that give the Dr. Brown or different companies, if they can have licensing from me, I'd be willing to work with them.
Okay, there you go. Well, thank you for being our guest. And,
Thank you.
And by the way, he's also not an inventor and scientist, but he's also an artist, as you mentioned, and he draws characters with
Yeah.
charcoal. And he gave me a picture early today.
Oh, how beautiful.
So he draws with charcoal, and if you have a picture that
That's
you want
beautiful.
drawn in charcoal, he will do it. He'll make it look like it's an actual picture.
Beautiful.
Very beautiful.
Thank you.
My
So,
pleasure to be here.
Well, thanks
Thank,
for being here.
thank you.
Thank you.
it's wonderful having you here. New
Yes,
products.
thank you.
and It's very helpful preventing baby decay, teeth.
And we have
Thank you
another
so
guest
much. Yes.
joining us.
Take these.
You guys keep talking.
And our producer George is taking some still photos.
I'll try to look natural.
Look natural.
Try to look natural and happy.
Look like you don't know what the heck's going on. And trust me,
don't.
I know how to do that very, very well. Without a doubt. In the meantime, we were talking about, Caitlin and I were talking about losing her father, and I was talking about my parents, and one of our sponsors can help people with that. Discover a new path to inner peace with Shirley's spiritual yoga meditation healer, chakra balancing, energy cleansing, and more. Call 424-542-9070 now for a free consultation and start your transformation today. All forms of payment accepted. And again, the number is 424-542-9070.
I spoke to her in person. I saw her last Friday.
And what did she have to say?
Well, I asked her about my health because I was concerned. And many years ago, I told you I had very bad allergy and I fainted and I almost passed. And I asked her about it and she said, I'm okay.
Did she give you any other specifics?
No.
She-
About
she
my
does
health?
yoga.
No.
No, but she says you're good.
Yes, she said, I'm very good and have nothing to worry about.
What about your energy? Is everything good with your energy?
She said, health-wise, everything's good.
Yeah. What about other than health?
I didn't ask.
Okay.
Do you need
Well,
me here?
I was happy to know that.
Sounds like
I can go.
you need a session with Shirley. I'm excited about a session with Shirley as well.
You need
I don't know if I
you
want
need
to know too
belly
much about
dance
the future though.
She
Was
just needs
nice
to
to
belly
meet
dance
you.
more, that's all.
Was
I
nice
need
to
to belly
meet you
dance
all.
It was
Thank
nice
you
to
very
meet you.
much. Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
And where did you see Shirley?
At her house,
And where is her house?
somewhere in West Hollywood.
West Hollywood. Okay. So yeah, I have not met Shirley and I can't wait to meet Shirley. Yes.
Is she's you said yoga or spiritual?
So she does a little bit of everything. She does spiritual and yoga, meditation. She uses a lot of different techniques. She does energy cleansing, meditation sessions, a whole lot of things.
Love that. Kind of like a, what do they call them? A Reiki?
She does, I believe,
No,
do Reiki.
Reiki. I know Reiki 1 and 2, but I'm not sure. I didn't speak to her about it because I did learn some hand-on healing when I was in New York.
Sounds like she's very gifted.
She is.
Yes.
She's very gifted. Yes. So we have another guest. George
Yes,
is
welcome, Mr.
adjusting.
David.
Yeah, shalom everyone.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Hi, David.
Hello.
My name is David Mukhtar, and I'm author of books. So far, I wrote 10 books. This is my 10th books. As you can see
Can you
here,
hold up one of your books? Let's see if we can get that. Hold on. Can you lower the book?
No, leave the camera. It's
Just
okay.
lower the book a little bit.
Yeah, you show the book.
So I'm going to show the book. And so, George, you want to. So here's the book right here. Tell us a little bit about the book, David.
this book in a Hebrew language called Pardes Rimonim, in Persian language called Bagh Anarha. And this book, one of the biggest sages of Jewish sages, wrote this book 300 years ago in Paboda, Italia. And shows you, this book shows you the future of the world.
So, and it's written in what language?
It's written in Hebrew and English, but and Persian.
So how would I hold this correctly? Like this?
The other side,
This side.
yeah,
And do I start over here?
from the right to
From
left.
the right to the left. Okay. Keep talking. Go ahead. I'm just
From the
I'm
right
looking
to
at the
left, and this book shows you who is actually created the world and how he's managing it.
And what was your motivation?
The motivation when I read this book, I wrote so far 10 Persian books. I bought the book of Shir Shirim, which is the song of King Solomon. And when I read this book, I said, it's a wonderful book, I should translate it. So it took me 3 years to translate this book, which is in Hebrew and also Persian. And it shows you everything with mystic, not regular, simple. It shows you the mystic of the world and how God is operating his world. Everybody, of course, thinks that he is the one that he is handling the book. It's not like this. God is handling everybody. So when you see the beginning of the book, it shows you that God tells you, I'm going to call you by name, and I'm going to put you in your place. And I'm going to give you whatever belongs to you, not more, not less. And in the end of the book, it shows you what's going to happen in the world. And today, everybody that you see everything is happening, it goes according to this book that's called Bagh Anarha. And translation of this book, it goes with 10 Sefirot. 10 Sefirot is 10 commandments, but has been opened. What is that every commandment means? So every commandment that God created, and he said to Moses, and Moses brought it down to Jewish people, it goes with the light of the God. Because all the energy is light. There is no other energy besides light. Even our soul is light. The soul of everybody that speaks is light. And this light, it changes the situation. Like that you have a light that goes to refrigerator, makes it cold. It goes to some place that warmer, makes it hot. So that means the soul of person never dies. So when a person dies, his body dies in the world. And he's going to recreate again.
That's right.
So the soul is recreating himself.
Yeah, reincarnation.
Reincarnation,
Yeah,
exactly.
That's very Buddhist also.
Because nobody goes absolutely from this world.
Exactly.
It's recreation. Recreation is start from here. And this book shows you with a numerical number, and it shows you the letters. The letter of Hebrew language is 22 letters. And God created this world with 22 letters. And he's changing this letter around, and you have different meaning and you have different words. That's the beginning that you can see. Yeah, exactly what opened the right place.
The reason why, I'll be honest though, the reason why I opened this page is I like books with pictures.
Yes.
And I like more pictures than words. So I like learning from pictures a lot.
So in the top of this picture that you can see, there is a picture of lions. These are both lions, the same lions. One lion is living in a place that's full of, he doesn't have nothing, as you can see, to the right. He doesn't have anything. But when they put you in a place that's full of meat, he start complaining. Why is complaining? Because now he got to the better place, and he said, no, it's not my place. I deserve more. Every human being is like this.
That's what I say. I believe I deserve more.
Exactly.
Yes. And you know what I also would say? You mentioned earlier about, you kind of reincarnate, you never
Yeah.
go away forever. That's what I tell my wife. You're never getting rid of me. Even when I'm dead, I'm coming back.
Yes.
Don't
exactly.
scare her, you know.
Wow.
Well, I said it in a romantic way, though.
Oh, okay, that's good to know.
Like
Even when I'm dead.
a stalker. Yes.
That wasn't romantic.
Yeah,
It wasn't?
that was-
All right, I'll work on it.
yeah, stalkerish.
It was stalkerish. Well, it's almost romantic.
Yeah, your soul
I'll never
never
leave you.
die.
That's
I'm
right.
never
Your
leaving
soul
you.
never die.
I'm
We
The
are
soul
just a
never
spirit.
die.
Yeah.
Nobody's soul is ever die. Only the body, the material dies.
So we recycle.
Since you came with the material, you go back with the
But what
material.
about all the preservatives that we eat?
So-
I hear that the bodies don't decompose like they used to because of all the preservatives in our diets. So if I eat enough preservatives,
We're preserved.
won't I just stay preserved and never go away?
No.
Okay. we can.
Everybody that after they put him in the grave, the body has been, does not have the same shape anymore. It decompose.
Well, with Chris, we can cremate him.
Yeah.
Actually, it's interesting. So I do plan on being cremated.
You have to take him to Egypt.
Will that change anything? Does it matter if I'm going to be
No, the
cremated?
body doesn't change because every human being has been made from the soul of the floor, the Adama, because you call Adam. Adam he is created from the bottom, from the Adam. Adama means where I'm putting my foot down, is Adama. So since you came with the Adama, you have to go back with the Adama. But when your soul came from the top, you have to go back to the top. That's the way it shows in this book.
And David, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Israel,
Which part of Israel?
in Jerusalem.
Oh, very nice.
I was in university, and my Hebrew language is wonderful, very good, and also my Persian is very good. That's why I translated this book from Hebrew to Persian.
And what did you study in school?
Chemical engineering.
Chemical engineering. So that's why you know so much about how we're going to eventually decompose and
Exactly.
break down.
Like for instance, water. The formula of water, as you learn in the school, is H2O, no, right? The
Yes.
formula of water is H2O. That means H,
Hydrogen?
H, hydrogen, and an O, heat, oxygen, and
two
hydrogen
parts.
again.
That's correct.
You have 2 hydrogen and you have 1 oxygen, right? So now exactly the name of God is the same thing. If you dispose the name of God, you have 2 hydrogen and you have 1 oxygen.
So 2 parts hydrogen, 1 part oxygen,
Exactly.
H2O, and water is the universal solvent.
Exactly. And now if you go by numerical number, the numerical number of water is 91. How? Because in the Hebrew language, Maim means water. Mem is 40. And Yud is 10, so it's 50. You have another Mem is 40. So together is 90. Now every person, if God is not with him, he cannot live. It's called kolel. That means everybody has this energy of God to live with him in order to live. Otherwise he cannot live. So you have 90 plus 1 is 91. So and every person has 90% of his body is water.
So that means we should be drinking more water, Tiffany. You
Yeah.
drink water?
That's why everybody's
Caitlin
drinking
has
water.
I have Starbucks.
That's dehydrating you right now. That's
And you have tea?
I had tea, yes.
Tea.
I have tea.
What do you drink, David? What's your drink?
I drink water usually and also tea.
I like a black tea lemonade 2
Good.
pumps of classic light ice from Starbucks. That I drink this every single day.
That's good.
A couple of these.
That's good.
This is
Any
a
sugar?
cleanser.
Any sugar in it?
That's
A little,
classic.
little
yeah,
classic syrup, which has a little sugar in it. Yeah.
You could get the sugar-free one. They have a sugar-free classic.
You better not to take sugar.
No sugar.
Don't take anything that has white color, like sugar, like
We were just talking about milk for infants.
yeah.
That what it can do to their teeth, right? Because of the sugar that's in it. So I do drink this with a little bit of sugar in it. There's lemonade in there too, so that has
The
sucrose.
milk is different, but usually I don't take any sugar. When I was 20 years old, since 20 years old, I didn't take any sugar. If I need something sweet, I take some khorma, means date. I take some date.
Honey.
It's a nice natural.
What about honey?
Honey, no. Honey in the beginning is good. When it goes to your body, then it's not good. I'm not a doctor, but I learned from a Kabbalistic book the honey in the beginning is good.
That's what everything
Spikes
seems
your-
to be like. Like Oreo cookies, they look so good. But once you eat them, things happen. You
Yeah.
know, you get a little fat. You know, like
You
everything
eat
looks good on the
Oreo
shelf.
cookies?
You know, I don't eat them a lot, but when I do, I
I
eat
ate one
Oreo.
yesterday.
I had a chip Ahoy
Just one.
2 days ago.
Chips Ahoy.
Yeah.
You did have an Oreo yesterday.
did,
Did you
yeah.
dip it in milk?
No,
Well, you got to dip it in milk.
I know.
I have a stevia plant in my garden, and now I have 2. And I love it because it's a natural sweetener.
So you actually have an stevia plant?
I do. I have a stevia plant. And so I pick the leaves off, I let them dry, and I put it in a container. And when I make my tea in my pot, I add the dried stevia leaves, or I boil them. So anyway, when you add it to the tea, it's naturally
It's
sweet.
natural.
Yeah, and it doesn't come in a little packet.
Yeah, I
So-
always think those ones are too sweet.
Yes, this is perfect. And then you can put it in the tea maker, boil it with water, and then you have your own syrup. So then I started baking with it and adding it whenever I felt like I needed something sweet in my coffee or in my tea.
That's phenomenal. I want to get in a stevia plant now.
Oh yeah. I don't touch any of the
What do you think about Splenda?
chemical sweeteners. I don't touch them.
See, I use Splenda in my coffee. David, what do you think about Oreo cookies? Do you like Oreo cookies?
I love cookies, but I don't eat too much.
No?
Anything that you take too much is not good for you.
That's
It's
right.
not good for you.
You gotta do it in modification, which is
Yeah,
why
modification.
I don't eat a lot of Oreo cookies, but Caitlin obviously does because she just had some
Just
yesterday.
one. I had one.
She had one.
Wait a minute.
What about ice cream?
All right,
How can
I
you
had
only
2
eat-
But it was
Chip
double
Ahoys. I said it
stuffed.
was 1, but it was 2.
It was
I confess.
yeah.
Like in Kabbalah said, you have a 3 column. 1 column to the right, like this. 1 column to the left. 1 column in the middle, like in the middle. Assume you're driving in the highway. If you go all the way to the left, if you want to go to the right, it's going to be very difficult for you. Correct?
Not for drivers in Los Angeles. They know how to get right over
Oh boy.
Yeah.
There is no,
immediately to the right
there is
hand
no
lane.
such a thing.
There are no lanes.
You're going to
Oh,
have
boy.
an accident with the people in the middle. That's what the Kabbalah said to you. Always drive in the middle. If you want to go to the right, it's much easier. If you want to go to the left, it's much easier. But if you all the way to the left and you want to go to the right, it's very difficult for you. That's why in life also you have to be moderate. You have to always drive in the middle. In driving, even in people that you want to associate, you cannot give all of yourself to someone. Go in the middle, little by little. Go in the middle always. Anytime you want to go to the right, you can give them everything. When you want to go to the left, it's much easier.
Are you married, David?
Yes,
Do you believe in that in marriage?
I believe that.
Do you kind of believe in that in marriage? That
Yes.
you kind of got to stay down the middle, that you can't give too much?
Yes, because when 2 people they get married, according to Jewish law, they go to chuppah. Chuppah means they go under the
House?
sisid. Under the sisid. So at that time, there's 7 praise. These 7 praise, God is come over there. God appears there. And now I'm going to go back to the Hebrew. Ish means man. Isha means woman. Ish has a yud. That's why he's Aleph, Yud, Shin. The Isha has Aleph, Shin, He. Yud He is the name of Kadosh Baruch Hu. Now if you take this Yud and He from them, become 2 Esh. You have 2 fire. That's why they're fighting together. That's the reason both they're fighting together. Because God, it takes off. When it takes off, you take the Yud. That's why in the beginning of this book, I taught 22 letters of Hebrew. When you take from the man the Yud, and from the woman you take the He, Yud and He is the name of God. When you take these 2 letters off, remains 2 fire, Esh, Esh. That's why 2 fire fighting together. That's why
How are you promoting your book?
at the moment, the synagogue, all the Persian synagogue, and all the people that they speak Persian. My Persian language is much better than my English.
You translate it. Did you translate it into English? You did,
No,
right?
my
No?
English is not that good to translate, but there are some person that he want to translate it. I said, when you want to translate this book to English, you have to show me, because there are some words that you cannot replace it with English. You have to be in Hebrew
You can
to give you the meaning of it.
Yes, that's what I mean. Translate the feeling. Just
Yeah.
like sometimes when you translate poetry, because I have to do translation
Translate
in
is
school
much-
and evening dance. You know, for
Translation is
poetry,
much
to translate.
difficult than writing a book,
Right, but you
because
know,
you have to
yes,
put
it
the
is.
word exactly that shows you what the meaning is.
So how are you selling this book?
Well, with a word of mouth, people they read it, they tell me, David, it's a wonderful book. It's difficult to understand it. Like for instance, a woman told me I read it 10 times. I still have a question. I'm going to ask her, so she can call me and ask. It's a word of mouth.
So if somebody wanted to contact you to purchase the book, how can
Yeah.
they do that?
I have a flyer here. I can show it to everybody.
So let's see if we can zoom in on this flyer here. Can you, you know what? I'll hold it up. Give it to me, and George will get the camera on me. Because I never mind having the camera on me. And George, there we go. And what's the number, David?
The number is in the top is David Mukhtar at area code 310-828-7788. And in the bottom is Iraj Kangavari, the person that is here in this office.
Yeah, I was gonna mention. Where did you get this printed? Printing and More,
Yes, printing and more.
which is where we're filming currently. Is that ironic?
Yes. He's the one that printed it.
Yes.
And he's the one that paid for it.
That's even more ironic. Life could be ironic. Okay.
And
So
he-
how do you go from chemical engineering to writing a book that's about spirituality?
because chemical engineering exactly is spirituality of Hebrew language. And the other number of Iraj Kangavari is 323-935-8080. And if anybody wants to order this book by phone, it's $26 plus shipping. The shipping is usually $5 or $6. Anybody from the Europe, they want to order, we ship it for them. To Turkish costs shipping $10. I'm $40, I'm sorry. But in United States costs $5 or $6. Anybody wants $26 plus shipping.
And if you use the United States Postal, you can get one of those flat rate boxes. And
No, post office.
no,
Post office.
do you use the post office?
Yes.
Yeah, they have these flat rate boxes, so that if it fits in that box, you pay that flat rate.
Yeah, for books they charge $5
$5. That's
Yeah.
not bad.
to America.
And what's the phone number again?
The post office, I don't know any post office.
No, your phone number again. Somebody
My
wants
phone
to-
number again, area code 310-828-7788. David Mukhtar. And Mukhtar is written Mokhtar. And anybody wants to pay in Europe, they want to pay, I have a PayPal. They can write with my email PayPal, pay for it, and we can ship it for them.
And
The
you,
PayPal is davidmukhtar@yahoo.com.
okay, and you don't have it in English as of yet.
As of yet, no, we don't have English.
Oh, okay.
At the moment, it's in Hebrew and Persian, as you can see this book. This is it.
Yes.
And everyone here,
So I'll
It's a,
hold it up
it's a
again.
You can
beautiful
take-
book.
It is.
I like the picture in there. I like the picture.
That's
of
like the
tigers.
heart, right?
Yeah.
That's like
It
a
is right
heart.
there.
Yes. So beautiful.
two of my students, they draw this picture, that they live in Italy. That's what
Where in Italy? Where in Italy?
they live in Padova.
These
I see,
pomegranates? These are pomegranates. This is the heart, but
Yeah,
these are
pomegranate,
pomegranates,
yeah,
and then the little seeds are.
It's
Caitlin
pomegranate.
has an eye
Go
for
pomegranate.
also the
it can be-
flyer-
It can be very spiritual too. That kind of fruits.
Yes.
and it's antioxidant too.
And also this flyer at the top in the green is written in Kitab Ayande Jahan Ra Bayan Mikonad. That means this book is going to show you the future of the world. What's going to happen in future. And whatever is written there, to me is 100% correct.
David, can you tell me if I'm going to make a lot of money in helium?
You what?
Will it tell me if I'm going to make a lot of money in helium? I invested a lot in helium recently.
In healing?
Yeah, helium.
What kind of healing?
Like gas, like the gas helium. So there's a lot of gas helium mines now being dug out because there's a helium shortage. So I bought stock in a helium company because there's a helium shortage. I want to know, what am I going to make a lot of money in it?
Nobody can tell you. Like everybody wants waiting for a Mashiach. They're
I
waiting
was
for
hoping you'd
Messiah.
have that answer.
Yes.
Everybody waiting for Messiah.
El Messiah.
The Christians said Messiah is already gone. Messiah already came. That's why they believe to Messiah.
Exactly.
The Muslims they said Mahdi is coming. The Jewish people said Mashiach is behind the door. But nobody knows Messiah is coming. Nobody knows. I have written in this book that God said, when the times comes, I'm going to make it speed for you. I'm going to make it to come much faster. In two reasons, Mashiach is going to come. One of the reasons that everybody becomes Baal Teshuvah. That means whatever they did up to this stage, they're going to say, God, I made a mistake. I'm going to correct myself. Or everybody go down, 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 even behind the foot. Then Mashiach comes. Otherwise, Mashiach doesn't come like this. And nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow. As you know what's going to happen in 1 hour, I don't know. I don't know in 1 hour if I'm going to laugh or not. Nobody knows.
I know one thing. I made a lot of mistakes. I'm going to have a lot of explaining to do.
Yeah.
That's one thing I know.
So you have to correct yourself.
Yes, I have to course correct, but I can't change the past, so I'm going to have to explain those things.
Exactly.
It's going to take a long time. What's interesting is I want to make a shout out to Printing and More. So Printing and More is the copy company that created that flyer for you. We're actually filming in Printing and More right now. So Printing and More, 8582 Wilshire Boulevard in Beverly Hills, 90211. They're excited to offer a unique combination of video and print services that can help you create a more engaging and memorable marketing experience for your audience. Their team can help you develop a comprehensive marketing campaign that includes both video and print elements. For example, they can create a video advertisement. There you go, get an advertisement that can showcase your product or service, and then use print materials, like David has, such as business cards, flyers, or brochures to distribute to potential customers. The combination of video and print can help you make a stronger impression on your audience. And you've definitely made a strong impression here, David. Thank you so much.
Wonderful.
For sharing your book.
So everybody can have one book.
For real?
Yeah.
Well, thank you
Even
so
though they
much.
don't know to read Persian, they're going to find a friend to give it to them.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Start passing these down. Oh, okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, I'm honored to take a book from you, David. Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing.
And Caitlin mentioned the pomegranates. And what's that?
Because every person, every good thing that he does, the pomegranate has 613
Seeds.
seed. 613 seed is exactly the number that God asked the Jews to handle it. Why? Because 248, you have 248 part of your body, and from this 248, you have 365 vein and other things.
I don't know if I have that many parts left.
Yeah, you have.
I don't. And
Yeah.
Nisha, how did you know how many seeds were in a pomegranate?
I didn't know.
So, Chris, 248 plus 365 becomes exactly 613.
That's beautiful.
So this is in Persian, not Hebrew, right?
In Hebrew, there is written in Hebrew and also Persian.
How do
there's
you
two
say?
languages there?
Yes.
Which one is which? I don't know. My friend.
Which one is Hebrew? Yeah,
This one?
I'll show you. Let me see.
And David, is the Persian and Farsi?
Farsi, yeah. They're the same. Like this, here is the Hebrew, and the translation in the bottom of it.
David, how do you say pomegranate in Hebrew?
In Hebrew, Rimon.
And in
Rimon.
Arabic? Limon?
Rimon.
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 Imre. Rimon.
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 In Arabic, it's
Arabic
Roman.
is different, like
Roman.
is close to Persian.
Yes.
But there is something here also, now that you ask, I can tell you.
Okay.
He says, Rabbi Meir Matzah Rimon, Toho Achal V'Kilipato Zarag. Means, if you want to translate it, that means Rabbi Meir, he finds a pomegranate, whatever is inside he ate, but the rest he throw out. But it's not the meaning. The meaning, according to what I wrote here, means Rimon, the numerical value is 396. Because, as Mr. you have here, the numerical value here. You have to learn this. Here. You have the letter, also you have the how to pronounce it, how the number.
Yeah, I like the fact that it has a legend.
So Rimon is 396.
Okay.
So he said he ate the inside. Toho, Tav, Vav. Toho means 26. So he ate the 26. 26 is the name of God. So he ate whatever God told him. So 396 menhai, the minus 26, it becomes 270. 270 now put Hebrew language. Means resh ayin. Ra. The rest is no good for you. First bad. Throw it out. Whatever God tells you is good for you to eat. Otherwise it's not good for you.
Something tells me that Oreo cookies is not on the list,
No.
unfortunately.
If it's kosher, it's good. It has to be kosher.
I think Oreo cookies are, well, I don't know, the dairy part of the filling.
It has to be kosher.
I don't see why milk. How do you make milk kosher?
Milk, if he's from a cow, is kosher.
Oh, so Oreo cookies are kosher then, because there's probably milk in the filling.
But also you have a milk from the
Almond.
camel.
Uh-huh.
And from the camel, the milk of camel, they make ice cream. They call it camel ice. It's not kosher. Because camel by himself is not kosher. So if he's not kosher, his milk also is not kosher.
So camel ice cream is not kosher.
No,
So if Ben and Jerry's puts out a camel version, it's not kosher. But Oreo cookies, I believe, are kosher. So I'm good with that.
yeah, exactly. That's why mostly the Jewish language, which is written in this book, shows you that whatever God said is kosher, is good for you to eat. Like for instance, if I go anywhere to trip and I say it's not kosher, I don't eat. Nothing gonna happen for me. If it's not kosher, I don't eat. Even though I'm hungry for 3 days, I don't eat. It's not kosher. I cannot eat. So it's good for you when you eat the kosher.
So kosher is healthy.
Yes.
Well, before we end today's show, I wanted to just do a round the horn. What does everybody have coming up? What's going on? We could start with Anusha. What do you have going on in the near future?
I have my classes, which I teach in Whittier and in Buena Park. And I also have an upcoming tour to Morocco and another tour to Egypt on the horizon. There's a workshop in Cancun, and there's a summer camp for dancers in Florida in July. So
it sounds like you're going to rack up some frequent flyer mileage.
yes,
I wish
and
you
a
the
lot
best.
of dancing, a lot of touring, and hopefully you can join us on one of these tours.
Absolutely.
Yes, and hopefully one of these days when Mr. Ahmed makes it out to LA, he can be a guest on your podcast.
Yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Oh my God, that would be
Yeah.
And you'll
phenomenal.
have to be here too then.
Yes, of
Yes.
course. I would
Okay.
love to. I'll bring him.
Absolutely. How
Yeah.
about you, Caitlin? What do you have on the horizon coming up?
Wow, I am actually in the process of moving right now. So I'm moving back to the Bay Area because my husband's employers are relocating there. So I'm going to take this time to really hone in on my Spanish. I'm taking some Spanish classes, and since it's the writers' strike, essentially, possibly, they voted for it. So we'll see.
So what are your thoughts
happens with
about the
that.
strike?
I think it's necessary to promote change, especially with streaming, because it's not like it used to be where we get paid residuals. But it's going to be, it's going to be rough. So
That's not what's making you move back, though, is it?
no, definitely not. But I think it's the perfect time, perfect timing, kind of focus on my skills and mastery to come out of this with new perspective and new skills. So I'm trying to get really fluent in Spanish. I think that's essential, especially for my background.
And you'll be even more marketable then.
Yeah, and then hopefully get reps up in the Bay Area. I have reps in the Southeast. Trying to just drop my reps in LA. So
Well, we're going to miss you here
Yeah.
in the LA area.
I'll be back. I'm still keeping my apartment down here, so
Excellent.
I'll be West Coastal, kind of like bi-coastal, but
West
all
Coast.
of the West Coast.
All
Yeah.
right. Great.
Yeah.
How about you, David? What do you have on the horizon?
Well, I'm gonna in the process to write a new book. I started already, but I haven't finished it even one page. But I said the name of it. He called Ma'alot Hamidot, means to every person has a good and bad. So I'm gonna call it in the beginning. I'm gonna translate what is good in it. To every person, you should look the good, whatever the goodness is in it. Don't look at the bad things. Look at the good sides for them.
See, Tiffany? Look at the good things in me, not the bad things.
Right. Exactly.
Like a Jekyll Hyde, good and bad. Okay.
Like I can see when I
Can
see
you see
them.
good things in me?
Yes.
Do you feel my positive energy?
Yes.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you also see bad things in him?
Yes.
Mischievous.
I don't want.
Mischievous things.
I don't want to mention it.
He says he wants to be
That's
invited
for
back
our
to the
late
show.
night show after hours. Well, I had a great time, Tiffany. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
you very much for
so much.
everybody
Thank you for coming.
that listen to me, to my poor English. Thank you very much.
Well, it's better than mine, so.
I wish you the best.
I'll stay away from the camel milk.
Exactly.
No camel ice cream.
I rode a camel once. Recommend.
Camel ice
Oh
cream.
yeah, in Egypt,
Don't let them
Morocco.
spit on you.
Yeah, no, they don't spit.
They don't spit. That's
They don't.
actually a
No?
actually a myth.
Stay
It's
away
just llamas.
with a product that not kosher. Stay away.
Stay away from non-kosher. Only go kosher.
Non-kosher product. Stay away.
Well, thank you, everybody, for
Thank
joining
you.
us.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Thank you so much.
These are okay now.
Thank you.
Here we are again. Goodbye from Filter 90211 and see you next Sunday.
All the best for everybody.
Thank
It
you.
was my pleasure to meet you guys.
Thank you.
And don't forget, everybody, unlock your true potential with Shirley's Spiritual Yoga Meditation Healer. Experience chakra balancing, energy cleansing, and personalized meditation sessions to help you release blocks and manifest your dreams. Call Shirley today, 424-542-9070, and cleanse your body. Cleanse your mind
Absolutely.
and cleanse your soul.
Absolutely.
I got
Sounds
some
good.
cleansing to do too.
Sounds wonderful.
Thank you.
Bless your heart.
Thank you.
Bless you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Producer George.
Bless your heart.
So you still within your 2 hours of parking?
Yeah. I think it's actually exempt on Sundays.
It is?
Yeah.
I thought the sign made it sound like it's exempt if you have some kind of sticker.
The one across the street does, but this one on
You
this
found?
side, yeah, with the meter.
Good for you.
Yeah,
Good
it's
for you.
exciting.
off yet, George? We are right now.
Oh yeah? You could afford it.
Were we live?
Yeah?